Alrighty gang, so we are outside once more. That doesn't mean you have to be, it's a relatively nice day, so we're doing it. Today we're going to go running and do some handstand walking, so it's all about travelling. If you don't have space to go running or you're not able to get out, that's okay. We can do some skipping inside, that'll replicate the same sort of stimulus. And same idea with our handstand walks. If you don't have space to do that, we'll give you something for that as well. We're going to kick things off, we're going to get warmed up. We're going to do some strength and skill work for our handstands. Then we're just going to get straight into this workout. It's going to be 4 rounds of a 400 meter run. Get yourself fatigued, come on in, do some handstand walking. Now, I reckon this garden is 10 meters. So I'm going to go there and back and do 20 meters of a handstand walk. Let's see how that goes. So, grab some water, grab some space, and let's do this. We're going to start things off with our warm-up. We're going to go in a plank position here. Tummy's pulled in nice and tight. Shoulders are over the hands. And from there, we're going to bring a hand up to the shoulder on each side. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Trying to keep the hips level rather than letting the hips kind of swivel up and down. I think level as they go across. Feel those obliques working a little bit. Really squeezing through that tummy. Arms stay locked when you're supporting. Alrighty. Gonna grab a rope if you've got one. If not, don't worry. We're gonna go for 30 seconds of skipping. I don't have one, so we'll go for it. Alrighty. Okay, I reckon that's about 30 seconds. We are going to do 2 more rounds. Here we go. If you're feeling particularly fancy, you could even go up to your hip. All the while keeping that tummy engaged, arms locked as you transfer side to side. Alrighty, back up for our jumps or our skipping. Ready and go. Alrighty, cool. One last round. Let's do it. Alrighty, one last set of our jumps or skips and begin. Great stuff. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer now. What we're going to go through, a little bit of a wrist prep before we go upside down into our handstand strength. So let's grab a little spot on the floor, go through some positions. We're starting off with our fingers pointing forward, arms locked out, and the goal here is to push through the wrist and just get that little stretch forward, all the while trying to protract those shoulders, teaching that tummy to hold a nice hollow shape while we're protracting the shoulders. If you can here, even think about pulling the front of your forearm. Alrighty, go fingers pointing back, same idea, lock the elbow and push the wrists. Still trying to protract the shoulders, tummy nice and tight. And then we'll go back of the hand. Really trying to lock the elbows so the elbow pits go forward. And if you can do that, then bounce back a little bit. If not, just take the time trying to learn how to do that. Super tight. A lot of desk work, a lot of work on your phones. It's going to make those muscles tight. It's going to make it harder and harder to get into our handstand position. Just like when we squat, we're standing on our feet and we're trying to get this angle there. When we're on our hands, we need to have an angle here. But if we're not able to pull that hand back and create that angle, it's going to be harder to create stability or get the shoulders over the fingers. So, next thing we'll do, a little bit of strength work for our fingers. If you can do this on your feet, if you're a real stud, you can do it on your knees. If you need to make it a little bit easier, and pull the knees in and go for one of these push-ups. This is not really a push-up, but we're getting used to moving our arm and then moving into position. Okay, to do a push-up, we want to have load through the joints. So, we're going to do a push-up, down and up, and at the top we're going to push up. Notice how my fingers stayed flat on the floor. Okay, my knuckle is pressed firmly into the ground. Some of us won't be able to go up very far. Others will be able to go up to a full 90 degrees. And what we're looking for there is a pump. So we're trying to get those forearms to feel full of blood, like they've been doing some work. Next one, straight fingers. Notice it's just the middle three. Index, middle, and ring. If these are too much for you, do your push-up and then go up on one hand, up on the other hand, down and down. And if that's too much, you can go up on one, go up on the other. Next rep. Same idea, chasing that pump and chase a nice straight line from your fingertip right up to your shoulder. We're going to be coming back to do all these again, so don't worry if you missed out. Okay. Next one we're going to do is on our fists. We're going to stretch forward so we get a stretch kind of up this side of your forearm. Then back to normal fist, onto your little finger. There's your push-up. Stretch, little finger push-up. Stretch, little finger push-up. Alrighty, and then last one. This one, we're taking a fair bit more load off. We're going to go on our fists. We're going to let the back of the hand come all the way down to the floor and then press back up into a fist again. So we've done a fist. Now the back of the hand is on the floor and all the way back up. You can do this again on your knees. Once you build up a bit of strength. And when you have the mobility for it. So, we're going to go through all of those once more for 5 reps each. Nice quick sequence. So, bending at the knuckles, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straight fingers, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm pausing at the top. 5. Spending the time to build that strength. On our fists, stretch forward, little fingers, push up. 1, stretch forward, little finger, push up. 2, stretch, little finger. 3, stretch, little finger. 4, 5, and 1 for good measure. There. Alrighty, last one then. From a fist to the back of the hand. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, cool beans. So now our wrists are ready to support us, or if they're not, over time, doing a little bit of that work each time you come to do your handstands will get you better prep for it. Next thing we're going to do is look at our shape. We're going to use a wall for this. So we're going to be walking up that wall. If you're not comfortable dirtying your wall, you can always use a sofa. We'll do an angle. I'll show you both of those. Basically, the idea is we're going to be forming a nice long shape. There. So we're nice and strong through the core. It's supported. I don't want to see that shape. That's a weak handstand shape. Alright, I'm going to flip the camera around and let's do it. Alrighty, so for all of this stuff, we can do a scaled version where our hands are on the floor, our feet are up on a seat or a sofa, and we're trying to stack that bum up over the hands. For those of you using a wall, let's find a secure way to get up that wall. You could use a wall walk, where we go from that plank shape, stay nice and tight as we step up, and from there, walk in with your hands, like so. And if you don't have any large, sharp objects in the way, you can maybe cartwheel or pirouette up. So the first thing we're going to do is get comfortable in that handstand shape. I want you to think about pulling your ribs down to your hips the whole time, rather than letting them go relaxed. So stay nice and tight through this trunk area. Okay, we're going to go up for about 30 seconds, and we'll do 2 sets of that. Ready? And up we go. Really trying to push through your index finger. Your elbow pits here are going to face each other. You're thinking about maybe thighs on the wall, ribs off the wall, and chin touching the wall. So you're in that proper handstand shape. Don't let your tummy touch the wall. Maybe let your chest touch the wall, but not your ribs, not your belly button. With all of our handstand work, if you get tired, come down. It's better to come down early, in control, than stay up too long, defeat the ego, and then have to do a uncontrolled descent. Alrighty, so that was way longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to take a little rest and then do that again. Through all of this, constantly monitor your body. If you're starting to find aches and pains places that you wouldn't normally have aches and pains, maybe just skip a set. Take an extra wee second to stretch out those wrists, work those fingers, that sort of thing. And again, if the shoulders are getting tired, just don't go up for as long. Easy. Alrighty gang, number 2. Here we go. Nice big step up. Walk yourself in. Focus on breathing. Trying to squeeze your ankles together. Legs just touching the wall. Nice big shrug. Try to get the toes as high as you can. Elbows nice and locked. Nice big shrug. And back down. Alrighty. So, next step, we're going to go and start to shift our weight a little bit. We're going to do something called a handstand run. So we're on the wall. We're going to take the weight over to one side, lift a hand, weight over to the other side, lift a hand. If you can only get a little bit of a lift, woohoo, that's fine. If you can maybe touch your elbow, that's cool. If you can get all the way up, sweet. And if you're a savage, maybe go for those hips. We'll go for like 10 nice controlled reps. Rather than speed here, going for control. Get the weight right over under your arm. Alright, 10 reps. Get yourself up. And begin. There's 10. And down. Lovely. Catch your breath. Let your arms and shoulders rest. We're going to be doing that once more. Getting used to shifting the weight from one side to the other, just like walking on your feet. If you're going to take a step on your feet, you put the weight on one foot and take a step. It's the same idea when we do this on our hands. We're going to shift the weight, take a step, shift the weight, take a step. If you don't shift the weight, you lift your arm, you're going to fall over. Alrighty. Last one of these. Ready? Up you go. Fantastic. All right, so gotten used to shifting the weight a little bit side to side. If you're already maxed out, you're doing way more than you thought you could, or you feel like this is too much, just scale it back. Feet up on a sofa, something up nice and high. Do the same thing, shift your weight, that sort of thing. This next bit, we're going to look at bringing our feet off the wall, taking a step under control, and coming back again. How we would do that: on your sofa, keep your feet there, get up into that nice L shape, then walk back down again. Walk up into the L shape, walk back down. Okay, we're trying to get used to and build up strength in your shoulders so they can move under load. Okay, if you're doing this on the wall, we're going to go up, we're going to bring the feet off the wall and deliberately try to fall. Your arms are going to stop yourself. So we're going to go feet off the wall, 1, 2, back. Okay, and walk back in close. We'll go feet off the wall, 1, 2, and then feet back on the wall again. Okay, I'll show you one here so you get a rough idea. What could I cartwheel on that? Okay, this could end disastrously. Oh, close enough. Alright, so we're in that wall. We're going to go feet off. We'll take 1 step, 2 steps, feet back on again. 1 step, 2 step, feet back on again. Oh, lovely. Normally I don't like people landing on 2 feet, but if you've almost got to press the handstand, you can control it down. It's not too bad. So, we're going to do 5 sets of that. Off you go. Alright. Whew. I'm going to give you a little bit longer just to keep going in case you need to take a break in the middle. Totally fine. Don't worry if you can't do these. Not a problem. Everyone's got to learn at some point. If this is something that you're aiming for, maybe it's time to practice. I taught myself how to do these when I was in Australia. Remember the first time I kicked up onto the wall, thought I broke my neck, just totally collapsed. And that was after like half an hour of trying. Couldn't kick up. It was very humbling. But a little bit of practice, about 3 weeks later, I could get up without the wall. And then about a year later, I was able to do a length of a gym. It just takes time. Alright, so 5 sets of that, done. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes now. If you have space, use the open space. Kick up onto your hands, try to take a few steps. Now, a little bit on bailing out. When you go out of a handstand, rather than crumpling in a ball, try to cartwheel off to one side. Okay, it's worth being able to do that on both sides. Just so that if one arm starts to give out, you can go to that side. If the other arm, you can go to the other side. Okay. The more controlled you can fall, the less fear you're going to have doing these, and the safer they're going to be. If you're really struggling to control your fall, you're in for a lot of bumps and bruises and probably sore wrists, maybe shoulders. All right, so 2 minutes. We'll just set this up and have a bit of crack. Still got it. Yeah. Fantastic. Alrighty gang, so it has come to that moment. Time to work out. We're going to go for 4 rounds. In those 4 rounds, we'll do a 400-meter run, or if you don't have space to run, we're going to do 2 minutes of skipping, be that double unders or single unders, whatever's harder for you. If you can't use a rope, just do our jumps with our taps, same as we did in the warm-up. You're then going to come along and do some handstand walking. Now I've got a length and back is what I'm going to aim for. Go at your ability, okay? If that's half a length, go half a length. If it's 5 attempts, do 5 attempts, all right? Make this suitable for you. What I don't want you to do is spend all the time trying to do one set of handstands. Let's see if we can get this whole thing done, okay? 2 minutes on our runs. I don't know how long handstand's going to take, to be honest. All right, just going to chime in at this point. 1 minute. Don't spend any more than a minute on your handstands for this workout. That way we're going to keep the intensity high enough. And if you can't do handstand walks, not a problem. Some scales coming right up. Okay, gang. So there's a couple of ways we can treat workouts like this. There's running involved. Most people are able to run somehow, and if they're not, we can always get an alternative, whether it's burpees, skipping, something like that. With a handstand walk, however, that's a very demanding thing, and you can get discouraged by that, and that's totally understandable. The thought of like, I'm never going to be able to do that, can creep in there. Okay, sure, maybe not. But the skills that teaches will carry over into so many other things, supporting your weight through your arms, great overhead mobility, core strength, balance, all that kind of stuff. So we can either avoid the movement and do something like a bear crawl, where you're trying to get the weight into the hands rather than just having them on your feet. So you're replicating the stimulus. Or we can take this as an opportunity to get a step closer towards our handstands. Again, whether that's using our bear crawl and really being diligent to get our weight in our hands, whether it's doing some more of our handstand runs on the wall, maybe pick a number, maybe 20 reps, maybe 30 reps. Go for something that's ambitious for you, break it up into some sets and practice that, get that strength. Or if you're at that stage, maybe practice a few handstand walks or kick-ups, something like that. Use this as an opportunity to get a step closer to that sometimes apparent unachievable goal. All right, don't be discouraged, you can do this. If you need help, reach out. I'm going to disappear for a run. I'll meet you back here for the handstands. So if you're staying to do skipping, good luck. I will see you in about 2 minutes.
Right, come on, up we go. Right. Come on. There we go. Yes. Last one. Oh. Definitely uphill. Alrighty.
Well done, guys. Pat in the back. Great job. Well done. So we had 15 minutes there to really work at something with a run. We're accumulating fatigue. There's lactic acid going around. Then with the handstand walk, same thing, but you don't necessarily realise it. That's why the next run felt a wee bit worse than the one before, because all that lactic acid is going to the big muscles, the legs, the body's trying to process it. So really cool workout, nice and fun. What we'll do, let's stretch out those shoulders a little bit. We'll stretch an arm across the chest. Oh, it feels tight. Shoulder pull down to the hip. If you're not getting enough stretch on this, you can always do it lying on the floor. Basically tummy down, arm in the same sort of position. Try and stretch out through the front. Get a little bit of load through there. Do the same thing on the other side. These are just some quick stretches. If you want to go through a full routine of stretches after a workout like that, maybe try our thoracic mobility session for our shoulders, upper back, that sort of thing. Really nice way of improving the range of motion and also flushing out all that lactic acid, all that fatigue. We'll go arm up over the back, pull that tricep over and then try and push against the hand. Your arms under tension. Same on the other side. Alrighty, let's leave it there for today, guys. Thanks very much for joining in once again. I really appreciate you spending some time here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.